The quiet hum of the evening settled around Michael as he sat at his desk, surrounded by the comforting familiarity of his home office. Pictures of happier times lined the shelves, smiling faces at beach getaways, Anna's arms wrapped around him, their laughter frozen in time. He was in the middle of planning their 20th anniversary trip, a surprise he hoped would spark the joy that had been ebbing from their marriage. As he scrolled through the booking details on their shared tablet, a notification flashed across the screen. It was a message, one that was clearly not meant for his eyes, but sent to him by mistake. "Can't wait for this weekend. It feels like it's been forever," it read, signed with a heart, a symbol that had always been a private token of affection between him and Anna. The sender's name made his heart stop. Thomas. Thomas, the ex-husband who had recently re-entered Anna's life under the guise of a joint design project. Michael had never been the jealous type, trusting Anna implicitly, appreciating her need for creative collaboration. Yet, something about this message, with its intimate undertone and the familiarity of the heart, sliced through his trust. The room seemed to tilt, the walls inching closer as a cold dread settled in his stomach. Michael stared at the message, reading and rereading the words that seemed to confirm his unspoken fears. How long had this been going on? Was the project with Thomas merely a cover for something deeper, something personal? With a shaky hand, he set the tablet down, the screen's glow casting long shadows across his face. The life he thought he knew, the partnership he believed was built on mutual respect and love, was it all a facade? The questions spiraled in his mind as he tried to grasp the magnitude of the betrayal. He needed answers, but more than that, he needed to confront the truth, no matter how shattering it might be. Tonight, there would be no escape from the conversation that awaited them. As he rose from his chair, Michael braced himself for the confrontation that would either break them completely or start the painful process of mending what had been so insidiously torn apart. Michael's footsteps echoed in the quiet of the night as he paced the living room, each step heavy with dread and disbelief. His mind raced with images of Anna and Thomas, their recent interactions taking on new, sinister meanings. He recalled how Anna's eyes lit up whenever she spoke of their project, the late nights she justified as work sessions, and now, the hidden affections expressed through text. Unable to contain the turmoil inside him, Michael reached for his phone and dialed Liz, his sister. The phone rang twice before she answered, her voice sleepy yet concerned. "Michael? What's wrong?" "It's Anna. She's seeing Thomas again, Liz. I saw a message from her to him." "It wasn't meant for me." Michael's voice broke as he spoke, the words tasting bitter. There was a pause, heavy with shock. "Oh, Michael," Liz finally responded, her tone a mix of anger and sympathy. "Are you sure? Maybe there's an explanation. It could be a misunderstanding." But Michael knew it wasn't. The intimacy of the message, the secrecy of its tone. There was no mistaking its intent.
"No, Liz.
It's clear what's happening. I just don't know what to do. How do I even begin to confront her?" Liz's voice was steady, a calming presence in the storm. "You need to talk to her, Michael. Face to face. Ask her outright. It's the only way you'll get the truth, and you need that, for better or worse." Taking a deep breath, Michael nodded, even though Liz couldn't see. "You're right. I need to hear it from her. I'll talk to her tonight." After hanging up, Michael sat down, trying to collect his thoughts. The digital clock on the mantel ticked forward, marking the minutes as he waited for Anna to return home. The house, usually a sanctuary, felt like a stage set for a drama he had never wished to play. When he heard the turn of the key in the lock, his heart clenched. Anna stepped into the house, her face tired but smiling until she saw Michael's expression. Her smile faltered. "Michael? What's wrong?" Michael met her gaze, his own eyes a mirror of the pain and betrayal swirling inside him. "We need to talk, Anna. About Thomas." Anna's face paled, a silent confirmation of the fears gnawing at him. As she set down her bag, steadying herself against the back of the sofa, the air between them charged with an impending storm of truths and revelations. In the dim light of their living room, the air thick with tension, Michael and Anna faced each other. The space between them felt insurmountable, filled with years of shared memories now shadowed by doubt. Michael, I can explain, Anna began, her voice trembling slightly, betraying her calm exterior. I saw the message, Anna. Can't wait for this weekend. It feels like it's been forever. Sent with a heart. How long has this been going on? Michael's voice was steady, but his heart raced, each word punctuated by a mix of hurt and anger. Anna sighed, looking down at her hands before meeting his gaze again. It's not what you think, Michael. Yes, I've been seeing Thomas, but it's not just a simple affair. I was feeling lost, disconnected from you, from us. He was there, and it just happened. An affair is an affair, Anna. You can't just justify it because you felt lost. We promised each other honesty, to work through things together. Why didn't you come to me? Michael's response was a blend of pain and incredulity, struggling to reconcile the woman he loved with her actions. I wanted to, she whispered. I didn't know how to tell you that I was unhappy. I thought I could handle it on my own. I thought it would pass. Michael shook his head, the initial shock giving way to a deeper, more piercing anguish. But it didn't pass, Anna. Instead, you turned to him. How do I trust anything now? How do we come back from this? Anna moved closer, her eyes searching his. I don't know, Michael, but I want to try. I made a mistake, a terrible one, but I don't want to lose you, our life together. Can we try to fix this? The room was silent for a moment as Michael looked at Anna, seeing not just the woman who betrayed him, but also the partner he had loved for 2 decades. The conflict within him churned, a tempest of love and betrayal, anger and longing. Can I even forgive you, Anna? Can I forgive us for letting it get to this point? Michael's voice was low, filled with uncertainty. He knew the road to forgiveness, if he chose it, would be long and fraught with challenges. Anna nodded, tears in her eyes. I hope so. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I want to save our marriage, Michael. I love you. The conversation stretched into the night, as they began the painful process of unpacking years of unspoken grievances and neglected emotional needs. It was clear that this was just the beginning, the first of many difficult discussions they would need to have if they were to rebuild the trust that had been so profoundly shaken. After the emotionally charged confrontation, the house fell silent, heavy with the aftermath of revealed truths. Michael sat alone in the living room, staring at the darkened window, reflecting on the night's revelations. The ease with which Anna admitted to the affair was haunting. Despite her willingness to repair their marriage, doubt gnawed at him. Could their relationship ever return to what it once was? The next morning, Michael found Anna in the kitchen, her eyes puffy from a night spent crying. They exchanged a tentative good morning, the normalcy of the gesture belying the turmoil underneath. Over coffee, they discussed practical steps forward. It was clear that if their marriage was to survive, they needed professional help. I think we should see a marriage counselor, Michael suggested, his voice hesitant but resolute. We need someone to help us navigate through this, to understand why it happened and how we can prevent it from ever happening again. Anna nodded in agreement, relieved at the suggestion. I think that's a good idea. I'll look for someone today. I'm willing to do whatever it takes, Michael. I really am sorry. Their conversation shifted towards the deeper issues that had led to the affair. Anna spoke of feeling neglected and unimportant, emotions that had been simmering for years. Michael listened, realizing how his focus on work and his assumption that their life was content had blinded him to her growing unhappiness. This isn't just about the affair, is it? Michael asked, the pieces coming together. It's about us, how we've been living more like roommates than spouses. We stopped communicating, really communicating, and I didn't see the signs. You're right, Anna responded, her voice soft. I should have spoken up sooner about how I was feeling. I let my fear of conflict trap us in this cycle of silence. It's not an excuse for what I did, but maybe understanding it can help us move forward. Agreeing to start counseling, they also decided to dedicate time each week to talk openly about their feelings and concerns, a new habit in an attempt to rebuild their emotional connection. As Anna made the calls to find a counselor, Michael reflected on the road ahead. The path to forgiveness and rebuilding trust seemed daunting, and he was unsure if the cracks in their foundation could ever fully be mended. Yet, he knew that the effort to try was itself a testament to the depth of their bond. Rebuilding would require patience, vulnerability, and perhaps most importantly, a willingness to forgive not only Anna but also himself for the oversights that had contributed to their estrangement. The first counseling session was set in a calm, neutral-toned office that seemed designed to put visitors at ease. Despite the comforting environment, Michael felt a knot of apprehension as he and Anna waited for the counselor, Dr. Ellis, to begin. The gravity of what they were about to undertake, unpacking their marital woes in front of a stranger, was daunting. Dr. Ellis greeted them with a warm smile. "Let's start by talking about what brought you here," she suggested, her tone inviting and non-judgmental. Anna took the lead, recounting the discovery of the affair and her feelings of isolation within their marriage. Michael listened, his emotions a mixture of pain and a burgeoning understanding as Anna expressed her regret and longing for what they had lost. When it was his turn, Michael spoke of his shock and the deep sense of betrayal. "I thought we were happy, or at least content. I didn't see the signs Anna was struggling, or maybe I didn't want to see them," he admitted, his voice faltering. Dr. Ellis nodded, noting down points. "It's common for couples to fall into patterns where they assume everything is fine. What matters now is how you both wish to proceed. Do you feel there's a foundation you both want to rebuild upon?" Both nodded, albeit hesitantly. The session moved into deeper explorations of their individual needs and expectations. Dr. Ellis guided them through exercises to improve communication, asking them to express their feelings without placing blame, which proved challenging yet revealing. One exercise had them face each other, repeating back what the other said without interruptions. This exercise highlighted how often they had misinterpreted each other's words in the past. "Michael, can you repeat what Anna just shared?" Dr. Ellis asked after Anna spoke about her loneliness. "She said she's been feeling alone, even when I'm here. That I've been here but not present," Michael responded, his voice softening as he processed her words. "Exactly," Anna said, tears welling up. "I didn't want someone else. I wanted you, the way it used to be between us." The session concluded with Dr. Ellis assigning them homework. Each day, they were to share one thing they appreciated about the other, no matter how small. It was a step towards rebuilding positivity in their interactions. As they left the counselor's office, Michael felt a cautious glimmer of hope. The road ahead was fraught with challenges, but for the first time, there was a sense of direction. Repair seemed daunting, yet possible. The commitment to try, to engage in the discomfort of growth and healing, was perhaps the first real step towards reconciliation. In the weeks that followed, Michael and Anna continued their sessions with Dr. Ellis, delving deeper into the intricate layers of their marriage. Each session unearthed more about their individual desires, fears, and the misconceptions that had silently eroded their bond over the years. One particular session focused on their early years together, a time of deep connection and shared dreams. Dr. Ellis asked them to reflect on what had initially drawn them to each other. Anna spoke of Michael's unwavering determination and his subtle kindness, while Michael reminisced about Anna's vibrant creativity and her passionate approach to life. "Somewhere along the line, we stopped sharing those parts of ourselves," Michael acknowledged, his voice tinged with regret. "I got caught up in the security of routine, and maybe I assumed Anna was always fine with how things were." Anna nodded, adding, "And I stopped sharing my real feelings, fearing they might disrupt our stability. I sought comfort elsewhere, which was wrong. I should have turned to you, Michael." Dr. Ellis introduced them to a concept called emotional banking, explaining that every positive interaction was like a deposit into their relationship's bank, strengthening their connection and resilience against future stresses. "It's about consistently investing in your relationship, understanding that small, positive interactions build a buffer against the negative," she explained. Motivated by this idea, Michael and Anna started to implement daily practices of emotional banking. They made it a point to share meals without the distraction of technology, discussing their day, their thoughts, or simply enjoying the moment together. These moments, initially awkward and forced, gradually became a cherished part of their day. Michael began to notice the subtle ways Anna expressed her love, how she'd always make sure to stock his favorite coffee, or the way she'd leave encouraging notes in his briefcase. Similarly, Anna appreciated Michael's efforts to reconnect, how he began to open up about his day's challenges or his decision to occasionally work from home to spend more time with her. These small changes, seemingly insignificant, started to mend the gaps that had widened between them over the years. One evening, as they sat on their backyard deck watching the sunset, Anna turned to Michael. "Do you think we can really get past all this?" she asked, her voice uncertain. Michael took her hand, feeling the familiar warmth that had once seemed nearly lost. "I think we're already on our way, Anna. It's not about forgetting what happened, but learning from it and building something stronger." As they watched the sky shift from orange to dusky pink, Michael realized that the effort they were putting into their relationship was not just about salvaging their marriage, but rediscovering who they were together. The path wasn't straightforward or free of obstacles, but it was theirs to walk together, one small step at a time. As the weeks turned into months, Michael and Anna's counseling sessions with Dr. Ellis became a cornerstone of their week. With each meeting, they peeled back layers of misunderstanding and neglect that had accumulated over years, slowly but steadily reconstructing the foundation of their marriage. During one session, Dr. Ellis introduced the concept of active listening, emphasizing the importance of truly hearing each other without the urge to respond defensively. "It's about understanding, not just waiting for your turn to speak," she explained. This new approach transformed their communication, helping them to really hear each other's concerns and desires for the first time in years. One afternoon, following a particularly revealing session, Michael decided to take a walk in the nearby park to reflect on the progress they had made. The fresh air and the rhythm of his steps helped clear his mind, and he found himself appreciating the subtle beauties of the day. The way the sunlight dappled through the leaves, the laughter of children playing nearby. It was during these moments of solitude that Michael realized how much he had closed himself off from not just Anna, but from life itself. His career, once a source of pride and fulfillment, had become just another routine. Rediscovering his connection with Anna was not just about fixing a broken marriage. It was about allowing himself to experience life more fully, to reconnect with his own passions and interests. Inspired by this realization, Michael planned a weekend retreat for him and Anna in the countryside, a place where they could escape the distractions of everyday life and focus on each other. When he proposed the idea to Anna, her face lit up with a smile he hadn't seen in years. "I'd love that, Michael. It sounds perfect," she said, her enthusiasm genuine. The weekend away was a turning point. Without the pressures of their daily routines, they found it easier to open up about their fears and hopes. They spent hours talking, walking along scenic trails, and simply enjoying each other's company in a way they hadn't in a long time. One evening, as they sat by a small campfire, Anna reached for Michael's hand. "I'm sorry for the pain I've caused," she whispered, her eyes reflecting the fire's glow. "I was lost, and I made a terrible mistake. But being here with you, working through everything, it's made me realize how much I want us to work, how much I still love you." Michael squeezed her hand, moved by her words. "I know it hasn't been easy, Anna, and there might still be days when it feels too hard. But I believe in us, in what we're rebuilding. I love you too, and I'm here, as long as we both keep trying." As they watched the flames flicker and dance, the warmth between them felt like a fragile yet growing flame of hope. They had come to the retreat as partners burdened by hurt and resentment, but they were leaving as a couple renewed by a commitment to heal and grow together, no matter the challenges ahead. Back from their weekend retreat, Michael and Anna found themselves navigating their daily lives with a renewed sense of partnership and understanding. They continued their counseling sessions with Dr. Ellis, who encouraged them to keep using the tools they had learned, especially during moments of conflict or stress. In one session, Dr. Ellis focused on the concept of forgiveness and letting go. She explained that while forgiveness does not excuse the past, it frees them from being anchored by its weight. "Forgiveness is more for you than for the other person," she said. "It allows you to move forward without carrying the burden of hurt." This discussion was a pivotal moment for Michael. He had struggled with the idea of forgiveness, feeling that it somehow meant condoning Anna's betrayal. However, through the guided conversation, he began to understand that forgiveness was not about forgetting or excusing the pain, but about not letting that pain control their future. Later that week, Michael decided to revisit some of the places that had been special to them throughout their marriage. He invited Anna to join him on a walk through the botanical gardens where they had celebrated several anniversaries. As they walked through the lush, serene paths, they talked about the early days of their relationship, sharing memories and laughter. It was during these walks that Anna brought up the idea of renewing their vows. "I think it might be a way for us to affirm the new commitments we've made to each other," she suggested tentatively. Michael was taken aback by the suggestion. The thought of renewing their vows had not occurred to him, and he needed time to consider what it would mean. "Let's think about it," he replied. "It's a big step, reaffirming our commitment in such a formal way. I want to make sure it's the right step for both of us." As they continued their recovery journey, Michael also found himself rediscovering his own passions. He started spending more time on hobbies that he had neglected: photography, a hobby he had always enjoyed but put aside during busier times. Anna supported this rediscovery enthusiastically, often joining him on photography excursions or simply encouraging him to pursue his interests. Their relationship was gradually transforming, not back to what it once was, but into something new and perhaps more resilient. The trust was slowly rebuilding, each day adding a brick back to the foundation of their marriage. One evening, as they sat together reviewing some of the photos Michael had taken, Anna looked over at him with a smile. "These are wonderful, Michael. It's great to see you so engaged with your photography again." Michael returned the smile, feeling a warmth that had been missing for a long time. "Thanks, Anna. It feels good to be back at it, and it feels even better to have your support." As Michael and Anna continued their journey of reconciliation, they increasingly focused on building a future that incorporated both individual growth and mutual support. Their conversations, once fraught with tension and hurt, became more about understanding and empathy. During a quiet evening at home, Michael broached the subject of their vow renewal, a topic that Anna had suggested weeks earlier. "I've been thinking about the vow renewal," he started, his voice careful. "It feels like a big step, but also a natural one given all we've been through and learned." Anna looked up, her expression hopeful. "Really? You think we're ready for that?"
I do, Michael replied, smiling gently.
"It's not just about reaffirming what we had, but celebrating what we've become. It's about acknowledging our growth and the effort we've both put into our relationship." Anna's face lit up, and she reached for his hand. "That means so much to me, Michael. I know it hasn't been easy, and there were times I wasn't sure we'd make it here." Their discussion that evening centered on what they envisioned for their vow renewal. They wanted it to be simple yet meaningful, possibly at the botanical gardens where they had spent many happy moments together over the years. They agreed it would symbolize not only their past but their commitment to continue growing together. In the following weeks, they planned the details of the ceremony, involving close friends and family who had supported them through their difficult times. It was during these preparations that Michael realized how much his perspective had shifted. He now saw their challenges as integral to their growth, not just obstacles that had almost broken them. Meanwhile, Michael also continued to invest time in his photography, often capturing moments of natural beauty that mirrored his new outlook on life. Anna, seeing his passion and talent, encouraged him to hold a small exhibition at a local gallery. The exhibition opening was a small affair, but it was a significant milestone for Michael. As he stood beside Anna, surrounded by his photographs, he felt an overwhelming sense of accomplishment and gratitude. "None of this would have been possible without your support," he told Anna, his hand squeezing hers. "I wouldn't be anywhere else," Anna replied, her eyes reflecting pride and love. As the day of their vow renewal approached, Michael reflected on the transformation both he and Anna had undergone. They had navigated through the storm of betrayal to a place of deeper understanding and connection. The upcoming ceremony felt like a perfect manifestation of their new beginning, a testament to their resilience and dedication to forge a path forward, together. The day of the vow renewal dawned clear and bright, the sun casting a warm glow over the botanical gardens, where Michael and Anna had decided to reaffirm their commitment to each other. The gardens were in full bloom, a riot of colors and scents that seemed to celebrate with them. Close friends and family gathered, their faces reflecting joy and support. As they stood together under a floral arch, Michael looked into Anna's eyes, seeing the woman he had fallen in love with, the woman he had struggled with, and the woman he had grown to understand and love even more deeply through their trials. He felt a profound gratitude for the journey they had taken, for the growth that had come from pain, and for the future they were promising to each other once again. Anna, visibly moved, took Michael's hands in hers. Michael, today I recommit myself to you not just as your wife, but as your partner, your friend, and your supporter. I promise to cherish our relationship, to nurture it, and to never take it for granted. I thank you for your strength, your patience, and your unwavering love through everything. You have shown me what true partnership means. Michael responded, his voice strong yet filled with emotion. Anna, standing here with you, renewing our vows, I am reminded of all the reasons I fell in love with you. The road here wasn't easy, but I am grateful for every step that brought us back to each other. I promise to keep learning, keep growing, and keep loving you with all that I am. Today, tomorrow, and for all the days to come. Their vows were met with applause and a few teary eyes from the assembly, a heartfelt affirmation of the love and resilience that had seen them through their darkest times. As they walked down the aisle together, hand in hand, the weight of the past seemed to lift, replaced by a shared anticipation of the new paths they would explore together. The reception was a light-hearted affair, with laughter and music filling the air. Friends and family came up to congratulate them, many commenting on the visible change in both Michael and Anna's demeanors. They were more open, more together, and more vibrant than they had been in years. Later, as the sun set, casting long shadows over the garden, Michael and Anna found a quiet moment to themselves. They walked through the garden paths, reminiscing about the past, but more importantly, talking excitedly about the future. This day marks not just a renewal of our vows, but a new beginning for us, Anna said, squeezing Michael's hand. Yes, a beginning where we know now more than ever how much we mean to each other, and how strong we can be together, Michael added, feeling a sense of peace and contentment. As they stood watching the sunset, the sky ablaze with colors, Michael realized that their journey through hardship had led them to a deeper, more profound love. It was not the absence of challenges that made a relationship, but the ability to face them together, learn from them, and emerge stronger.